Okay, that's what we call ourselves, because we're more illuminated than the peons out there, right? And we decide that we want certain regulations to take place that benefit us and not anyone else. We want to enslave the rest of the United States. What would we do? We would write those regulations out. Then we would go to the congressmen and representatives that we own. We would tell them, we're no longer going to contribute to your campaign unless you write this piece of legislation. And you're going to have these 72 people be the regulators of this legislation that we're going to write. There are people we train. That's what goes on in the United States Congress today. These congressmen don't read these laws because they didn't write them. Most of them don't understand them. How many people know a guy named Tim Griffin?
I wish I did.
You know, he's an attorney at law. I had a sit down with him in Conway, Arkansas, at a barbecue restaurant one time. And it went over 3 paragraphs on one piece of legislation. Do you know that he didn't understand one of those paragraphs? And he is representing this congressional district. What'd you say?
I said, I get the point, man.
Do you, when you read a piece of legislation, when you read a great big, long, 1,000-page law, do you understand it?
No, I don't even read the credit card.
Half of it just refers to other laws that are in existence and doesn't even specify. It just says, you know, whatever the code number is. It takes.
I'm going to read you one paragraph in this divorce, this petition for divorce.
Okay.
He, referring to the king, has refused for a long time, after such dissolutions, to cause others to be elected, whereby the legislative powers, incapable of annihilation, have returned to the people at large their exercise, the state remaining in the meantime exposed to all the dangers of invasion from without and convulsions from within. That was the way people spoke in Sidewalk American just a little over 200 years ago. Can you speak that and take that one paragraph and repeat it back to me in Sidewalk American today?
If I had it in front of me to read, I probably could.
First order, he dissolved our legislative bodies.
What does the word convulsive mean?
It means an uprising.
Right.
Insurrection. Yeah, unrest.
You can get a vague idea of what they're saying. Who are the people that wrote this?
Thomas Jefferson and others.
Landowners.
They put their names on it.
The presidents of the colonies.
Presidents?
The individual colonies.
I'll tell you, I'm going to read some of the authors' names that wrote this. And most of you have never heard these names. Josiah Bartlett. Some of you heard of Josiah?
West Wing.
Are you talking about the signers?
William Whipple.
John Hancock.
Matthew Thornton. John Hancock, Samuel Adams, you all have heard of them. Robert Tree Payne. Elbridge Gary. Sounds like I'm calling roll in a high school, right? How about Caesar Rodney? How many people know who Caesar Rodney is? He's a pretty ordinary. How about George Ross? How about Thomas McKean? How about Benjamin Rush? How about George Kleiner? Now, I want to go down the road and have 5 or 6 of you just say your first and last name. We'll start right over here.
First and last name?
Yeah,
Chuck P.
Oh, last name?
first and last name.
Well, with none.
Cindy D. Lambert.
Do a couple more.
Catherine Maynard O'Connell.
Let me ask you, and you, the rest of you can say your names. If you wrote a bill of divorcement to the United States government, would you believe in it enough to put your name on it? Because I might as well leave here right now if you're not.
But
Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
Now, when you write your bill of divorcement, do you want to write it in convoluted language, or do you want to write it in sidewalk American so that everybody can understand it?
Sidewalk Mayor.
That was the sidewalk American language a couple hundred years ago. Go ahead.
Where, I always wondered about that, because these people were the most highly educated intellectuals of their time, were they not? So did they speak the same as sidewalk Americans?
They weren't all that highly educated. That's one of the myths of the founders. A lot of them were farmers, landowners, business owners, tavern owners, preachers. A few of them were lawyers. And when the people back then in the taverns, if the lawyer came in to talk to them and say, tell me what you really mean, so I can understand. You guys are gonna build a nationwide organization. You gotta start very, very small and grow in a certain precise, controlled manner. And you gotta bring everyone along with you if you wanna succeed. And you're gonna have to talk to them in language they understand. There's not a bill that's passed in the last 25 years that I understand completely, and I'm trained in how to read legislation. I'm gonna tell you why. They do that on purpose. They write laws very, very broad, subject to multiple interpretations, and then they have the president sign it. Let me ask you a question. It's not a trick question.